We are going to see list data types and the operations on the list. So we know that list is one of the data type which helps us to take the multiple values of different data types. Let's see with some example. Suppose I'm taking one A as a list, and a list are written in the square brackets. So I'm writing the values of different data types. So if I want to print the list, I will simply write it into a print function. So you will observe the list is printed now. Okay, if you observe here we have a different values. One is of type integer, 2.2 is of type floating, and then kit is a type of string. So these are the different values and I have printed the values over here. Okay, so this is how a print function works in the list data type. Now here on the list data type, we can have an indexing. Indexing is nothing but at which position we have a data. So simply if I print in the bracket, if I print a of 1, if I run the code, see it is getting me an output 2.2. So at which position we have a value that helps us to find out with the indexing. That is a in the bracket, just write the number. List starts from 0th index, 0, 1, and 2. Okay. N number of values you can take into the list. Suppose I want to find out the value at the first position, just write print a of 0. It will help us to get the output. This concept is called as indexing. Means at which position we have which value, it is called as an indexing. Now we can also find out the indexing concept with the help of for loop. Let's see how we will find out with the help of for loop. I am taking one list, s is equal to see. Now I have taken one list. Okay, I'm initializing the value of I to 0. I'm writing the while loop as while I is less than, I need to find out length of the string. So if I want to find the length of the string, we have a len function, len, which helps us to find out the length of that string. So I'm writing len in the bracket s. Okay, so this means it will help us to find out the length of that string s. So if I have got the length of the string, so the condition will be I less than length of the string, and then I just want to print the list. So I'm writing at index comma I'm printing the value of I first, and which index, the which element we have, I'm printing that. So I'm just writing element is comma a of s of I, and then I'm incrementing I by 1. I is equal to I plus 1. So whenever I will run the code, see the output I'm getting is at index 0 there is an element is 1. At index 1 element is 2.2. So at every index I have found the value. The 0 to 5 numbers are the numbers of I, and s of I is the values. So this is how we can find out with the help of while loop. Just first you have to find out the length of the string, then put that condition I less than length of the string and print the list. This is how we can find out at which index we have which value using while loop. So this is with the while loop. Same we can use the for loop also. In this list I can write for I in s print I. See, it helps us to print the values. So if this is also valid, I can use for loop or I can use the while loop. Now let me take one another list as a is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and I want to find the square of the numbers in present in the list, and I want to print that. So how we will do? I will just write for I in A. Okay, I'm taking one variable as sq is equal to, now for I in A we have taken, right? So if I do I into I, it will help me to get the output. So just print sq now. See, I got the square of the numbers present in the list. Now I will first go to the value at the first position. Okay, suppose I have these values 1, 2, 3. Okay, so my I will be first check for the first number, then it will check for the second number, then it will check for the third number, and this process is called as iterations. Okay, so I will be iterating until we satisfy the condition. This is how I have found the square of the numbers present in the list. Now, the another concept is the slicing concept we can perform in the list. So slicing is nothing but finding the subpart or extracting the subportion of the list. For example, suppose I have a list. I will write the list here. Okay, so I have written a list here. Now I want to extract the subportion of it. Okay, so I will write print. First, let me print the string. See, it is coming. Sorry, it is coming the list. Now I want to fetch the sub part of it. So I need to write s in the square bracket. Just if I write 1 is to 3, and if I run the code, see it is printing y and t. Okay, so that means I had fetched the sub part of the string. Now you can write s of, see what I'm writing, 2 and colon. So whenever I will run this, from the number 2, like index 2, it will print all the numbers till last. Okay, I have not mentioned last number, just I have mentioned the start number. So from that start number, it will end up till the last number. Okay, even if I put only colon inside the print function, it will give me an error. Okay, so start number or end number you have to give compulsory. So if I give the end number here like -5, and if I run the code, sorry, I should write print s of inside the square bracket colon -5. So whenever I will run this code, see the output I will get is 5. It goes reverse. If it is -5, it goes reverse order. Okay. Similarly, if I writing print s in the square bracket, I'm writing colon. It will help to print all the elements. Okay. Now, if I write print s of colon colon minus 1. See, it will help to print the reverse. Whatever the list we have taken Python. Okay. So if I write colon colon minus 1, it will reverse the string. So these are some operations on the list, and this is called as slicing. Whenever we are fetching some part of the list, that is called as a slicing. Now we are going to see there are some basic operations on the list. So there are the basic functions, built-in functions, which helps us to use in the list. So first function we are going to see is append function. So let's see what is this append function. Now suppose I have one list. Okay, I'm taking the same list which we have displayed in the previous, that is S. Okay, see, this is my list. Now here in this list, at the end of the list, I want to add some number. So if I want to add some number, I will write s dot append and some number. Suppose I want to append 122 number. Okay, so I have written s dot append 122, and I will print the same string now. Print s. So whenever I will run the code, you will observe that the 122 has been added in the list at the end of the element. It is the last element 122 in the list. So append function helps us to append, I mean to add a specified element into the list. And that element will get added in the last position in the list. This is an append function. We can use append function using while loop also by taking an input from the user. We'll see that now. See, suppose I'm taking one empty list as A. Okay, I'm taking an empty list. A is equal to empty list. Okay, I have not added any numbers inside that. Now I'm writing I is equal to 1, and in the while loop I'm giving condition while I is less than is equal to 5. While I is less than is equal to 5, I'm taking one value from the user, and whatever the user will input the value, I want to add it to the list. So with the help of append function, just write a dot append inside that value, whatever the user will give, that will store into the variable value, and we have just passed that variable into the append function. Then increment the I by 1, that is I is equal to I plus 1, and now print that list. So here I'm printing that list as print A. So whenever I will run the code, now see there is one box appearing. I'm giving the values inside that box. Okay. Now see the list has been displayed here. Okay. So with the help of while loop also, you can use this append function. We can take any values we want into the append function. Suppose this is not an empty list. Here are some elements. Okay, this is one element. Okay, so whenever I will run the code, if I'm putting some values, see, the previous list also will come, and the new inserted values will get added into the list. So simply take I is equal to 1. This will be the starting index. I'm writing the condition I less than equal to 5. That means 5 times the user will take the input. So I have written value is equal to input, and I have just written a dot append and pass the value inside the append function. Increment the I and print a. So this is the simple program. We can use the append function using while loop, or you can use like this. Simply write s dot append and print s. This is also valid. Now the next function we are going to see is insert function. Now insert function, what it does, it will help you to insert the element at a specific position. In the append function, the element was inserted at the last of the list. But here in the insert function, we can add the element at the specified position. Wherever we want element to be added, we can add that element. So let me take one string as subject is equal to, I'm taking one list as subject is equal to okay. So this I have taken one list. Okay, I will print this list initially. Print subject. Okay, I got the output. Now here I want to add history in between or Hindi subject I want to add after Marathi subject. So now see, at index 0 we have English, at index 1 we have Marathi. So at index 2 I want to add Hindi. So how to add that? See now, write the variable that is subject dot insert in the bracket which position you want, that is second position. I want the subject Hindi, and again print that list. So whenever I will run the code, see the first list which is appearing, that is English, Marathi, Math, Science, and the second one which is updated, that is English, Marathi, Hindi, Maths and Science. So Hindi subject got added in the previous list. So with the insert function, we can add the element at the specific position. In the append function, we have seen that the elements get added at the last of the list. Compulsory it will get at the last of the list. But with the help of insert function, we can add the element at the specified position. So again, if I want to add another element, and if I wrote here, so I'm copying this and I'm adding subject dot insert is equal to, at the second position instead of Hindi, now suppose at the third position I'm adding history. Okay, so whenever I will print that string, see the output I'm getting is at now third position I have element got added history. Means at any position you can add the element by with the help of insert function. Just write the position and the value of that element. Now if you want to add it to a last, then even if you give -1 as a position, then the data will get added at the last position. Okay, so this is the insert function. Now next we are going to see is extend function. Extend function. Now let's see what is the extend function. I'm taking list 1 as 10, 20, 30, and I'm taking another list as 15, 35, 77, 88, 90. Okay, two lists I have taken. Now I'm writing list 1 dot extends list 1 dot extend list 2. and I'm printing both the list, print list 1 and then print list 2. Now see, whenever I will run this code, you will observe that the first list, that is list 1, is now extended with list 2. Means in the list 1 I only have 10, 20, 30, right? But the other numbers of list 2 are also appearing in this list 1. That means list 1 is merging with list 2. I will show you. See, if I print here, print list 1. Okay, so see, before extend function, and this one is after extend function. Okay, so whenever I will run the code, let me see. See, before extend function, the original list is getting displayed. After extend function, the two lists are merging together, list 1 and list 2. List 1 is extending list 2. So this is how list extend function works with the list data type. Okay, so we have seen append function, insert function, and extend function. Now, next we are going to see deleting or removing element from the list. So the next function we have is the del function. Del function to delete the element from the list. Now let's take one list, the previous one itself. Okay, this is our list and I want to delete some element from the list. So if I write del s of, suppose if I write 1, okay, and whenever I will run the list again, print s. See, the output which I am getting is pth. Why element is deleted now? Why element is at the first position which got deleted. So with the help of del keyword, we can delete any element from the list. Just write del and give the position to which the element you want to delete. So del s of 1 will delete the element from the first position. So this is the del keyword. Similarly, we have remove keyword also. Now remove, if I'm using the remove keyword, see, I'm writing remove dot s of. Now remove does not needed any index. It doesn't take any position. It will directly take a value. So if I'm writing the value p here, okay, and when I will run the code, I will print it. See, now just a minute, remove dot, okay, it's opposite, s dot remove, it should be dot remove. See, there is one another function called as pop. Pop will remove the last element. It will automatically remove the last element. So if you observe the list at the last element, it was 122. Now in the second list, there is no 122 element. The pop function will remove the last element. You do not need to specify anything. It will automatically delete it. Now there is one clear function also which delete all the list. So if you write s dot clear, if I write s dot clear and if I try to print the s, see, there is an empty list. All the elements from the list got deleted with the help of clear function. Pop function will help you to delete the last element. Then del function will help you to delete the specific position element. Okay, so these are three elements to remove or delete the element. That is del, pop, and clear. So there is a sort function also. This is the list. I have taken a random number list. I have written s dot sort and I've just printed the value of s. So whatever the elements in the list there are, it gets sort automatically in ascending order. So this is the sort function. Similarly, we have a reverse function. So if I write s dot reverse and if I try to print the string, now see the reverse list is getting printed reverse in reverse order, that is in descending order. Okay, so there is a sort function which helps you to sort it into an ascending order, and reverse function will help you to print it in a reverse manner. The list which is already sorted, that it is printing in reverse manner. So this is the sort and reverse function. Similarly, you have a count function which returns the number of items present in the list. It will help you to print the count. Then there is a copy function. It will copy one list into another list. Okay, there's a copy function also. Let's see the copy function. Now we have already list S, and I want to copy it into the another list. So take one empty list, just write s dot copy and A. Then now try to print A. It will help you to print the element. Maybe this is not working for this Jupyter notebook, but there is a copy function also which helps us to copy the elements. Okay, so these are the built-in functions we have seen related to list, that is append, which add an element to the end of the list. Then we have seen extend, that add all elements of a list to the another list. Then insert, to insert an element at the specified position. Then we have seen del, to delete the element. Then pop, which will delete the last element. Then clear, which will delete all the list. Then we have a sort function which helps us to sort into an ascending order. Reverse function which will help you to print the list into the reverse order. And there are count function which will help you to give the count which elements is present in how many elements present in the list. It will give you the count. And there is also an index function which will help you to search the element whether that element is present or not. So it will return the index of the elements which you want to search. Let's try that index function. See, now there is an index function which will help you to search the element in the list. If it is present, it will help you to print the index of that element. So now in the print function, I have written t dot index and the value. I have written 44. So if you observe, the 44 is at the second position. That is 0, 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So 44 is at the second position, 0, 1, 2. So this when I print it, I got the index as 2. If I wrote 99 here, now see 99 is at the seventh position. So the index function will help us to retrieve the position of that element. Now next we are going to see nested list. Now nested list means in one list there is another list. That is called as a nested list. So how to write a nested list? See, I'm taking one variable. Inside that I'm giving some values 2 and 20. Now in that list only I'm taking one another list. Okay, and again I'm writing some value. Again I'm taking some another list. So if you observe this carefully, there is a list. Inside that there is another list. Okay. And if I print this by using a for loop for I in list 3, If I print, see, the list is getting appeared. So this concept is called as nested list. There is one list, inside that there are multiple lists. With the for loop, we have printed this list. If you observe the output had came properly. It displaying all the list elements. We had seen with the help of for loop, right? Now we will see with the help of while loop to print the nested loop. I'm taking the value of I as 0 initially. Now I'm writing while I is less than, first find out the length of that list 3, then write print at index. If you don't write this and simply print list, that is also fine. List 3 of I, okay, and then increment I by 1. Now see, with the help of while loop also we can print that list. This concept is called as a nested list. Now at which position we have which element, if you want to find that, that is also you can find it out. See how to find that. Just write print list 3, which is the variable, and at the second list, which is the first element. So if I run this, it is 49. See the list. I will print this list again. Let me first print the list. Now see, you will observe that I have printed list 3 first, and now I have printed list 3 and in the bracket 2 and 1. 2 and 1 means in the second list first element, that is 49. The list starts from 0th index, right? So in the second list, the first element is 49. So this also you can find out with the help of indexing. So this is the concept of nested list. And if you want to delete this list 3, simply write del list 3. And now try to print list 3. You will not find anything. See, it is saying name list 3 is not defined. That means the list 3 got deleted. It is not present now. So with the help of del keyword, I have deleted the list 3. So these are some basic operations on the list.